Hello, thank you so much for joining OGTV tonight for our major news broadcast. I am Adewole Dosumu. First, the highlights. President Tinubu directs clear cost sharing framework for electricity subsidies in 2026 budget. Ogun marks 50 years of creation with interfaith Thanksgiving service as government declares Friday, February 3rd, public holiday. Corruption trial of ex-petroleum minister Alensin Madueke resumes in London. Second commercial flight since start of Sudanese war lands at Khartoum Airport.
And on business news, federal, state and local governments shared 1.969 trillion December 2025 Federation account revenue. Details of this and others on the business segment of the news. I am Olayemi Takuro. Stay with us.
And from the world of sport, Cristiano Ronaldo left out of Al-Nassr squad amid transfer tensions. I'll bring you the details of these stories and many more when I return. I am Sheyalo. Don't go away.
5 decades of excellence, hard work, integrity and passion. 50 hearty cheers to Ogun State. You can watch us live on our website www.ogtv.com.ng/live. For latest news and reports, check us on these platforms: X at Ogun TV, Facebook Ogun State Television, YouTube at OGTV Abeokuta, and TikTok at Ogun State Television. Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun has revealed that the Gateway State has grown into a 17 trillion naira economy in its 50 years of existence, a feat he described as unprecedented in the state's history. Governor Abiodun made this disclosure during an interfaith prayer and Thanksgiving service to mark the Golden Jubilee celebration of Ogun State, held at the Arcade Ground Governor's Office, Okemoso, Abeokuta. Governor's Office correspondent Yusuf Ganiu reports.
It is a moment of joy and thanksgiving as sons and daughters of the Gateway State gather to celebrate God's faithfulness and benevolence over 50 years of Ogun State's creation, a period marked by notable development across critical sectors of the economy. The interfaith prayer and Thanksgiving service organized by the Ogun State government attract eminent personalities, including former President of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, Governor Dapo Abiodun, past military administrators, former civilian governors, traditional rulers, religious leaders, political office holders, and residents of the states. In his remarks, Governor Dapo Abiodun expresses appreciation to past leaders who have served the state in various capacities, noting that Ogun State has evolved into a 70 trillion naira economy, recording unprecedented growth and development in the last 5 decades.
50 years afterwards, we're celebrating this rare gemstone that's become a rare earth mineral. It now shines so brightly and so beautifully. It is called Ogun State, also known as the Gateway State. Today, this gem state has become the gateway to Nigeria's prosperity. It is now defined by multi-modal transportation, defined by a world-class airport, an impressive tapestry of roads. It now leads in education, from primary schools to tertiary schools. It now leads in unprecedented number of affordable housing, a strong healthcare system, very happy farmers, all making us the industrial capital of Nigeria.
Governor Abiodun adds that the state has made significant progress since its creation and calls on residents to remain grateful to God for his guidance, protection, and blessings over the years.
We are now a 17 trillion naira economy to the glory of God Almighty. Yesterday, I saw a report of the top 10 states in Nigeria. And this report shows Ogun State only as second place to Lagos. Our state has achieved an unprecedented level of prominence and excellence. Like Bishop Harvey said, the lines are falling in pleasant places. We are building the future of this great state together. And I feel very privileged and honored to be the serving governor at the time we're celebrating this auspicious 50th celebration.
Former President of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, alongside former Ogun State Governor, Chief Olusegun Shoba, congratulated indigenes of the state on the Golden Jubilee, describing the 50 years journey as a product of God's benevolence. They urged the present administration to fully leverage on Ogun State's strategic proximity to Lagos, Nigeria's commercial hub, to further boost economic growth and development.
Lórí inú mi dùn, ara mi yá gẹ́gẹ́ ni mo ṣe ń jọrọ lẹ́yìn mi lò nígbà tí bá wà láyé tí dáadáa Ogun State tó ṣojú mi dì sí tí a ní gọ́ọ̀nà tí ó ní ọmọ tí ẹkùn bá bí ẹkùn ló bá jọ tó ń ṣe ìfọ̀tẹ́mi fẹ́ kó ṣe ó yẹ kí n gbé wọn lẹ.
In their sermons titled Ogun State must be grateful to God for its inheritance, Bishop Olushina Fakpe and Imam Musbaudin Olomu say God has endowed the state with abundant human and natural resources, stressing the need for continued gratitude and responsible stewardship.
What should be our primary concern in Ogun State is that this state continues to be a progressive state. And if anybody seems to be working towards that, we should all support him so that the good inheritance we have, we can keep it.
Let us be prayerful. Let us know that Allah is in us and is with us. If you can join hands together, love one another, forbid indecency and rebellion, and be prayerful, I know that Ogun State will still be number one in Nigeria.
The clerics commended Governor Dapo Abiodun for his developmental strides, particularly the construction of the Gateway International Airport, among other interventions, urging residents to continue to supporting the administration for greater achievements. Yusuf Ganiyu, OGTV News.
Meanwhile, the Ogun State government will hold a state banquet on Tuesday, 3rd February 2026, as part of activities marking the 50th anniversary of the Gateway State at the Arcade Ground, Okemoson, Abeokuta, beginning at 4 in the evening. Cultural displays and a carnival float are part of the activities expected to take center stage on Thursday, February 5, 2026, starting at 9 in the morning, with the procession moving from Isalegbe to Lalubu Road in Abeokuta. These will be followed by another round of road commissioning exercise as part of the continuing Golden Jubilee activities. The Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, has declared Tuesday, February 3, 2026, a public holiday across the state to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the creation of Ogun State. The declaration was contained in a statement issued on Monday by the Secretary to the State Government, Mr. Tukubo Talabi, who said the public holiday is to enable residents fully participate in activities lined up for the Golden Jubilee celebration. According to the statement, the anniversary marks 5 decades of Ogun State's political existence, steady growth, and significant contributions to national development. The statement called on citizens to celebrate the historic milestone in an atmosphere of unity and peace, while reaffirming the administration's commitment to consolidating on past achievements and accelerating the state's development agenda for the benefit of all. Talabi added that the governor urged residents to take advantage of the public holiday to actively participate in the events marking the 50th anniversary of the Gateway State. Ogun State was created on the 3rd of February 1976. The Golden Jubilee celebration features a rich lineup of commemorative activities designed to reflect on the past, celebrate the present, and project a bold and prosperous future for the state. As Ogun State clocks 50 years of existence, education remains one of the big selling points of the state. This report by Matthew Shomi focuses on the achievements of the state in education after 50 years of creation.
Education evolved from the Western region system, with existing formal schooling facing challenges like unequal funding, rural-urban gaps, and issues with quality access, despite being a priority for developments, with ongoing efforts to improve infrastructure, technical training, and literacy programs at the creation of Ogun State 50 years ago. Successive governments then focused on the development of education infrastructure, rehabilitation, digital integration, teachers' welfare, and policy reforms, setting the pace for the trajectory the sector took thereafter. The efforts and contributions of the government in the development of the sector have been paying off, with the state assuming the status of education hub of Nigeria, paying host to the largest concentration of public and private higher institutions in the country. With the current administration investing heavily in the development of education infrastructure, rehabilitation, and remodeling of existing primary and secondary schools, with the technical and vocational subsectors not left behind, while introducing various initiatives and involvements of information communication technology, the fortune of education has indeed witnessed major turnaround in the last 50 years.
Let's talk about digital lesson notes, digital class, and then maybe recorded classes and so on for our teachers to make life more comfortable. The only thing we have done again is to introduce artificial intelligence into it, because artificial intelligence is becoming, the order of the day now. So we want our teachers, we don't want them to be left behind, and that's why we are bringing this one. These tools that we have introduced, the website that is coming, and of course the Ogun Learn that we have actually introduced, they are actually very central to how we will communicate, deliver our programs, and support teaching and learning in a more modern and efficient way in our schools.
Yeah, DeepI is a technology platform for transforming education in Ogun State, ensuring that we can ensure equitable access to education for all learners. We can also streamline the management of school with it. We're also using it to improve teaching and learning outcomes. It's also a platform for generating data that can support qualitative policy.
A major focus is on the digital transformation of the education landscape, as seen in the Ogun State Education Revitalization Agenda OGTV platform and the Ogun Digitalized Multimedia Lesson Plan to equip teachers and students with digital tools, and there has been a renewed focus on teacher welfare, including recruitment, training, improved allowances, and prompt payment of salaries, while more people are being brought on board through the Ogun Teach scheme.
I want to assure you that this administration will continue to prioritize teachers' welfare, and will continue to value organizations that help us to improve teachers' welfare, to encourage our teachers, to encourage people in the education.
The federal government recently adopted the state-established Tai Shularin University of Education, TAUSUED, as a federal university, reinforcing Ogun State's status as a center of academic excellence, while new guidelines are being issued to make education more affordable and focused on learning.
Let me use the opportunity to assure the people of Ogun State that this administration, the administration of His Excellency Prince Abiodun, CON, remains very firm and unshaken in his commitment to provide free and qualitative education for every school-age child in Ogun State, irrespective of where they live, their gender, economic status, religious belief, or political affiliation.
As the industrial hub of Nigeria, the industrialization achievements of Ogun State can also be traced to the laudable progress made in education as the industries continue to benefit from the sector. Given how the journey started 50 years ago, Ogun State has no doubt recorded major boosts and giant strides in education development. Therefore, the story remains a very positive one for the state. Matthew Showme, OGTV News.
Still ahead, corruption trial of ex-petroleum minister Alinsin Madueke resumes in London. Do join us for details of this and more after the break. Welcome back. Glad to know that you are still there. And in case you're just joining us, you're watching the major news broadcast for the day on OGTV, Abeokuta. President Bola Tinubu has directed all ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs, to use existing electricity sector laws to make the sharing of power subsidy costs among federal, state and local governments clear, practical and open in the 2026 budget process. This was disclosed by the Director General of the Budget Office of the Federation, Dr. Tanimu Yakubu, during a keynote address at the start of a training program for MDAs on the 2026 post-budget preparation using the government's Integrated Financial Management Information System and the Budget Preparation System in Abuja. Yakubu said the President wants the burden of electricity subsidies to be clearly shared so that no level of government is left carrying hidden or unpaid costs. He explained that when any level of government decides to keep electricity prices low for citizens, the financial responsibility for that decision must be clearly agreed upon and enforced. According to him, fair sharing of the burden will encourage better performance in the power sector and stronger support for protecting vulnerable consumers. Yakubu told MDAs that they must now clearly show all subsidy-related costs in their budget plans and avoid pushing unpaid obligations into the power market as debts that later create problems for electricity companies and consumers. He explained that the government is now focusing on proper project financing, which means that every project must be carefully planned, costs and matched with a clear source of funding, whether from the federal budget, partnerships with the private sector, or other financial arrangements. For adequate economic reform policies and for inclusivity of Nigerian youths in the present administration, the youths of the All Progressives Congress, APC, have declared their support for President Bola Tinubu in the 2027 general elections. The national youth leaders of the party, Dr. Dayo Israel, made the declaration while monitoring the ongoing party e-registration in Ward 4, Abeokuta South Local Government and Ward 12, Abeokuta North Local Government areas of Ogun State. Elizabeth Eso reports.
Over the weekend, the National Working Committee of the All Progressives Congress announced the extension of the party's e-registration exercise till 8th February 2026. Following what the party described as overwhelming interest of prospective and existing members, monitoring the exercise in Ward 4, Abeokuta South Local Government, and Ward 11, Abeokuta North Local Government, all in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, is the national youth leader of the party, Dr. Dayo Israel, who confirms that the monitoring became pertinent to encourage the youth and to further assure them of President Tinubu's support of their cause.
I believe that there's a lot more that we need to do in terms of getting more young people. But we're in a good stand. We have about 7 million people that have joined our party in this e-registration process across the country. But we know that we're going to do more over the next 1 week. We also want to increase the pressure for the younger generation to be able to help them to register. And so that's one of the reasons why we're going around to sensitize the youth on the importance of being part of the process. It's not enough to complain and be on the sideline, but it's important that you are playing the game and you're at the table when it's being done. Yes.
Some of the leaders from the wards visited also speak of their efforts at reaching the set goals of the e-registration before the extended dates.
We have actually done about almost about 70 to 80% of our populace. We've already met the mark. As a matter of fact, we've gotten commendation, but we believe that we can still do more. We're going around, we're encouraging the people, the market women, the traders, the artisans and all that, and the civil, those that want to be involved in our party activities, to ensure that they're documented so that we can have information concerning them and not just be and they don't just be verbal party members. There will be people that will be documented and detailed and be part and parcel of our political activity.
Important effort is credited to the governor of Ogun State. He has made sure that he gives the necessary support for this registration to be seamless. And as such, we have also given all the necessary support. As a foot soldier, our own responsibility also is to bring out people. And you can see that we are hitting 2,000 by special grace of God today. And the national president has also increased our target that we should be able to reach 5,000 before the end of the exercise. So we will not relent. We are grassroots mobilizer.
The team rounded off the monitoring exercise at the party's secretariat, where party members on the ground were further sensitized and assured of more benefits of loyal party members. Elizabeth Esson, OGTV News.
Leader of the Senate, Senator Kweyemi Bamidele, has charged political leaders and professionals in Ogun West to embrace unity, discipline, and strategic consensus as the best pathway to producing the next governor of Ogun State in 2027. Senator Bamidele gave the charge while addressing a gathering organized by Ogun West professionals for Yayi, a socio-political group advocating the emergence of a governor from the senatorial district for the first time since the creation of Ogun State. He stressed that only a united and well-coordinated front would position Ogun West to realize its long-standing aspiration of producing the state's next chief executive. Details are in this package.
Seated in this hall are members of Ogun West Professionals for Yayi, a socio-political group advocating for the emergence of a governor from the Ogun West Central District for the first time since the creation of the state. The group says it is putting its weight behind the senator currently representing the district, Senator Olamilekan Solomon Adeola.
This year, Ogun State will be 50. And within that 50 years, half a century, Ogun West has not got the opportunity of producing the #1 citizen of Ogun State. 50 years. That is highly worrisome. And that's why we've seen people from all forms of backgrounds, professionals, engineers, those that read law, those in mass media, those in medicine, and host of others, coming together that this time around we must get it right.
We therefore call all the good people of Ogun State across the 3 senatorial districts to rally support and elect the man we all know his antecedent in quality representation and infrastructure development to be the next governor of our state in 2027.
In time past, we do not adopt this approach. Today, we are being specific, we are adopting measurable system, we are being time bound, and we are ensuring that we push sentiment aside to stay on the data as scientists. Look at the factors. For us from Abuja, I can tell you that our son, Senator Solomon Olamileko Adeola, is a national figure.
Drawn from diverse professions across the globe, the group chose this platform to articulate its mission, with leader of the Senate, Senator Kwame Bamidele, as guest lecturer.
We must go outside from here today, facing the reality of the need for internal coherence to make this possible. You must help Senator Adeola to reach out to every stakeholder in the West and reassure them of your commitment to mutual respect, decorum, and a sincere admission that you do not love the West more than them, and neither you, as a group or individually, deserve to be the beneficiary of the external support for the West more than any other group or individual.
Senator Kwame Bamidele appealed to all sons and daughters of Ogun West to take advantage of what he described as a big opportunity. The gathering also endorsed Asiwaju Bola Tinubu for a second term as president of the nation.
The Committee for the Defense of Human Rights, CDHR, has concluded its 2025 Annual General Conference, sparking a critical dialogue on the future of Nigeria's democracy. Centered on the theme, Advancing and Defending the Rule of Law, the summit brought together a formidable assembly of legal experts, labor leaders, and civil society actors to confront the cracks in the nation's justice system. Testimony Komalafe was on the ground and filed this report being presented from our studios.
The Committee for the Defense of Human Rights, CDHR, has held its General Annual Conference, bringing together key stakeholders to discuss the protection of human rights and the rule of law. Welcoming participants to the conference, President of CDHR, who spoke through the Vice President, Comrade Yinka Folani, called on stakeholders to uphold the rule of law as the foundation of democracy and remain committed to defending fundamental rights.
You all agree with me that democracy should be premised on the rule of law. Rule of law should be the cornerstone of any form of democracy.
Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Mr. Femi Falano, SAN, represented by a board member, reaffirmed the organization's commitments to defending citizens' rights and strengthening justice institutions across the country.
Every person ought to be equal before the law. And by implication, it also underscores the supremacy of the law. So there is essentially no big man or small man where the rule of law operates.
Ogun State Commissioner of Police, CP Lanre Ogunowo, who was also represented at the event, commends CDHR's advocacy efforts and pledges continued collaboration with civil society to promote justice and security in the state. Other speakers, including the Ogun State Chairman of the Trade Union Congress and the State Chairman of the Police Community Relations Committee, emphasized the importance of partnership, community engagement, and collective responsibility in strengthening democracy and the rule of law. CDHR says resolutions reached at the conference will guide its ongoing advocacy programs aimed at protecting human rights nationwide.
The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has rolled out sweeping new rules that will change how automated teller machines are deployed, operated, and monitored across the country. From stricter refund timeless to tougher security standards and a new ATM to card holder ratio, the Apex Bank says the measures are aimed at improving customer experience, reducing fraud, and ensuring round-the-clock access to cash. A special report takes a closer look at what these new standards mean for banks, ATM operators, and everyday Nigerians.
The Central Bank of Nigeria is tightening its grip on automated teller machine operations. unveiling new minimum standards that now override all previous ATM regulations in the country. Under the new directive, banks that issue payment cards must deploy at least one ATM for every 5,000 cards in circulation, with compliance phased over 3 years, starting with 30% by 2026 and reaching full implementation by 2028. Some of the new deployment policies include customer safety and transaction confidentiality, as ATMs must now be sited in secure locations and are not to be placed outside buildings unless firmly bolted to the ground. Same bank transactions where customers use their own bank's ATM must be reversed instantly or within 24 hours if technical issues arise, while for not-on-us transactions, refunds must not exceed 48 hours.
To start with, we don't use ATM machines anymore. We use POS. So what is their business in that? They should make money available. We are not going to banks again to collect money. We rather go to POS and collect it. That is what we are sustaining the Nigerian financial system. That's all. So it's not their business. They should go and do some other thing and leave that one alone.
Some on their part defended the policies. They said it will reduce failed transactions and boost Nigerians' confidence in electronic banking.
It's not everybody that uses the POS, which is, somewhat like the alternative. People still believe in going to the banks. People still believe in using the ATM machine. And they've had a lot of issues concerning, when money is transferred, they don't get it in time, and then they're going back and forth in the banks. Sometimes it's kind of tiring. For them to say 24 hours, 48 hours, I mean, that's like putting, things in place. And I think it's okay. I think I like that very much. And at the same time, those who are using the POS can please just go ahead and use their POS.
They even said it will help boost the economy.
As a Nigerian, we are all used to getting our monies through the POS operators. It's more convenient. You don't have to walk far, but it's not. That's not the way to grow an economy. Most of the developed economies have ATM machines stationed at critical places with specific, geographical space.
Even for the POS of 18 too, the safety and security is not that guaranteed too. We've seen a lot of the disadvantage from it. Where somebody will just use the ATM card. At the end of the day, the PIN will be at least will be manipulated from the ATM from the POS machine. If the CBN bring up the policy and tell our commercial bank, whenever they want to build their biku, most especially the ATM gallery, they have to build in a very open space so that for the security and safety of our people.
With these new standards, stakeholders said the Central Bank of Nigeria is sending a clear message: access to cash must be reliable, transactions must secure, and customers must come first. Margaret Okunlola, OGTV News.
Nigeria Customs Service, Ogun 1 Area Command, has dealt a massive blow to economic saboteurs, recording a staggering 47% increase in revenue, with over 54 million naira remitted in 2025. This surge in fiscal dominance is matched only by the command's aggressive anti-smuggling drive, which saw the interception of 37 trailer loads of foreign rice and a sophisticated haul of narcotics and explosives. Acting Customs Area Controller O.O. Afeni revealed that the command has also hit the ground running in 2026, generating over 106 million naira in January alone, an 84% jump from the previous year. Bumi Adigu completes the story.
A year of fiscal triumph and a month of massive interceptions. This is the 2025-2026 scorecard of the Nigeria Customs Service, Ogun 1 Area Command. Acting Customs Area Controller O.O. Afeni announced a monumental revenue surge, remitting over 454 million naira in 2025, a 47% increase that signals a tightening grip on border trade and baggage assessments.
We have started 2026 on the right foot,
And this is evident in what we have generated from January 1, 2026 to yesterday, 28 January 2026. We have collected and remitted the sum of 106,277,312 to the Federation account, which is above what was generated same month last year with 89.5 million, which represents 84.3% increment. We have achieved this through the diligence effort of our officers and the cooperation of compliant traders.
Beyond the numbers, the command is basically stripping smugglers of their tools of economic sabotage. The all is targeted 37 trailer loads of foreign rice, thousands of liters of fuel, and exotic vehicles. But the most chilling discovery was a deadly arsenal of 1,315 explosives and over 2,000 rounds of live ammunition.
The total duty paid value of seized items for the year 2025 is 4,130,931,100 kobo, while the duty paid value of the corresponding years was 1.7 billion. This shows that there was an increment of 2.3 billion. These achievements are testament to the commitment of our officers to combating smuggling activities, protecting the economy, and safeguarding the well-being of our society.
The briefing also highlighted a rare victory for cultural preservation with interception of 2 traditional carvings being spirited out of the country. This victory comes despite a disturbing rise in violent attacks on customs officers, including a recent ambush where operatives were shot at with live bullets near the Iwoyi axis. Controller Afeni remained resolute, vowing that the command will not back down in its mandate to police the vast land borders. As the 2026 operatives intensify, the message from Idiroko is clear. The Ogun 1 command is no longer just a revenue hub, but a fortified wall against insecurity. With new technologies and a partnership with NAFDAC to examine chemical imports like caffeine and anhydrous, the command is evolving. The battle against smuggling continues, with authorities calling on traditional rulers to help steer the youth away from a life of crime. Bumi Adigo, OGTV News.
Proceedings have resumed in London in the corruption and bribery trial of former Nigerian Petroleum Minister Diezin Alinsin Madueke. Madueke denies multiple charges relating to the alleged misconduct while overseeing Nigeria's oil and gas sector. But prosecutors claim she received cash and luxury benefits in exchange for influence over energy contracts. The case has major implications for accountability in the global economy and energy industry. Lawyers for Diezin Alinsin Madueke, the first woman president of OPEC, denied in a London court that the former Nigerian minister took bribes in their first formal response at her corruption trial. The 65-year-old who sat in the dock at Southwark Crown Court taking notes on the third day of the trial is accused of multiple bribery counts stemming from a year-long investigation. The alleged offences occurred between 2011 and 2015 when she was Nigeria's oil minister but maintained a UK address. Fresh job opportunities are now available for indigents of Ogun State as the Police Service Commission announced a 2-week extension to the ongoing recruitment exercise of 50,000 police constables. This is contained in a statement signed by the Permanent Secretary, Bureau of Cabinet and Special Services through the Ministry of Information and Strategy, Ogun State. According to the statement, the application, which commenced on the 15th of December 2025, will now close on the 8th of February 2026. Applications are expected from Ogun State indigents with valid NIN who must be a certificate holder or SSCE or its equivalent. The application forms and other necessary information are now online. The application portal www.npfapplication.psc.gov.ng. All interested Ogun State indigents should visit all the 20 local government secretariats where desk officers have been stationed to attend to them. Up next, we bring you some business reports.
Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Business News. A total sum of over 1.9 trillion in the December 2025 Federation Accounts revenue has been shared among the federal government, states and local government councils. This was disclosed in a communiqué from the Federation Allocation Committee made available on Monday by Director Press and Public Relations Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, Mr. Bawa Mokwa. The revenue was shared at the January FAC meeting. The communiqué stated that the 1.9 trillion total distributable revenue comprised statutory revenue of 1.084 trillion, value-added tax revenue of 846.5 billion, and electronic money transfer levy revenue of 38.110 million. It added that gross revenue of 2.585 trillion was available in December 2025. Nigeria's gross external reserves rose to $46.11 as of January 2026, marking the highest level in 8 years, with capacity to cover 14 months imports for the country. The reserves position represents 18.6% increase from 38.88 billion in January 2025. The improvement is attributed to increased oil exports, diaspora inflows, and foreign portfolio investment. Managing Director, Financial Derivatives Company Limited, Bismarck Ruane, said stronger external reserves have helped to ease pressure on the naira, which appreciated by 0.65% to 1,385 per dollar. The Central Bank of Nigeria has released its inaugural CBN FinTech report, offering a clear, forward-looking review of Nigeria's fintech ecosystem and the priorities shaping its next phase of development. The report places particular emphasis on Nigeria's payment infrastructure, noting the rapid growth in transaction volumes processed through the NIBSS instant payments platform in recent years. This performance positions Nigeria among the leading adopters of real-time payments globally and underscores the central role of fintech in everyday economic activity. Informed by surveys and broad stakeholder engagement, including structured interactions with fintech operators and financial institutions, the report sets out a framework centered on innovation, financial inclusion, and system integrity. Nigeria's pension fund assets closed 2025 at a historic high of 27.45 trillion naira, consolidating the steady growth recorded through the final quarter of the year, according to the unaudited pension fund industry portfolio report for a period ended 31st December 2025. According to the figures released by the National Pension Commission, the year-end figure represents a net increase of 399.27 billion over November 2025. The total pension fund assets grew by 4.94 trillion naira, rising from 22.51 trillion in December 2024, representing an annual growth of 21.9%. The bulk of the year-on-year expansion came from the retirement savings account funds, particularly Fund 2 and Fund 3. RSA fund assets jumped from 9.24 trillion in December 2024 to 11.52 trillion in December 2025, an increase of approximately 2.28 trillion. RSA fund grew from 5.92 trillion to 7.02 trillion, adding about 1.0 trillion year-on-year. RSA fund expanded from 1.62 trillion to 2.25 trillion, reflecting a rise of roughly 630 billion over the period. And finally, an enhanced gas supply deal that will ensure adequate supply to meet ongoing expansion projects by Dangote Group has been signed by the Dangote Industry Limited, DIL, and the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited. The deal saw 3 subsidiaries of Dangote Limited Company, Dangote Fertilizer Plants, Dangote Petroleum Refinery, and Dangote Cement PLC scaling up their gas sales and purchase agreements with 2 subsidiaries of the NNPC, Nigerian Gas Marketing Limited, and NNPC Gas Infrastructure Company Limited. The upscale supply agreement is expected to support Dangote Group's Vision 2030, resulting in increased output, better and cleaner energy supply. The agreement was signed at the unveiling of the NNPC Gas Master Plan 2026, tagged NGMP 2026, held at the NNPC Towers at the weekend in Abuja. And that ends business news. Many thanks for watching.